Yo, what's going on, guys? Back with another banger video. In today's video, we are going to be doing our fourth deck review, and this deck review is our first one that is actually centered around an archetype. So this is an ice deck, and it only has ice cards in it. So this is the best deck so far, and this would be competitively viable. It's much better than the other three decks that I've already reviewed. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Sorry about that. Okay, so first up, we have the three Blizzard cards. We have Blizzard Racer, Blizzard Renegade, and Blizzard Reaper. Right. Then we have Polar Peck, who is in Gen 18. This card is sent to the discard pile. Add one ice spell from your discard pile to your hand. When this card attacks an opposing beast, the attacked beast loses half of its attack until the end of the turn. Winter Warrior. So this card is going to come up later. See, this is tier 1. There's a B grade, that's tier 2, and then there's an A grade, that's tier 3. So it says, in 2 turns, free summon Winter Warrior tier 2 onto this card from your deck or hand. So it's kind of like a Evo summon, you just put it onto it. And then if tier 2 is destroyed, then both of them go to the discard pile. We have Eskimo. Once per turn, you can select one ice beast you control, increase its grade by 1 until the end of the turn. So you could even use this for this. So you summon this, and then it doesn't get destroyed. Next turn, you could add it. You could change it to a B, and then you can sacrifice summon an A. Pretty good. Polar Power. So this is like a ritual, kind of like transforming tonic for a mutated alchemist. This card can be used to summon Eskimo. This card. Sacrifice one Eskimo, which is this card, and discard one ice spell from your hand. And then if you bring out Eskimo, this card can only be summoned by Polar Power once per turn. If this is the only card you control and your opponent controls 2 or more beasts, you can free summon one ice beast from your discard pile. Even if it's an A, that's crazy. So this is the only card you control and your opponent controls 2 or more beasts. You can free summon any ice beast from your discard pile. Ice Blaster. If you skip this card's attack, you can add one ice spell from your deck to your hand. So this card really revolves around the ice spells because they're really good, and those are the last tier, and the ice spells are very good. Halio. This was also made in Gen 18. Once per turn, you can select one beast in play to negate their abilities until the end of the turn. You can summon this card without any sacrifices, but its ability is negated. That's still pretty good, honestly. It still is a 120, 130, so it's like a mid D. Here we go, Winter Warrior tier 2. It has the exact same effect as tier 1, except it brings out tier 3. Alright, here we're getting to the spells. If you control an ice beast, you can discard this card from your hand to negate an opposing beast's abilities until the end of the turn. And then the other ability you can use is select one opposing beast. That beast loses half its original attack until the end of the turn. So this is what you can do if you activate it, and this is what you could do if it's in your hand. Icicles. Counter. When your opponent activates or summons a card, you can discard one ice beast from your hand to destroy that card. That's honestly pretty good. Deep Freeze. Select one opposing beast. Its abilities are negated and cannot be sacrificed until the end of the turn. In 2 turns, your opponent must skip their draw. So it's like you use this, your opponent can draw next turn, but the turn after that, they have to skip. Cryo Cannon. So this card kind of goes with Ice Blaster. So you skip this card's attack, add 1 ice spell from your deck to your hand. And this card kind of goes with it, so you'd add this to your hand. Select 1 opposing beast. Its attack becomes 0 until the end of the turn. During your next turn, your opponent takes life point damage equal to the original attack of that beast. So think of it as an A. You use this, put this out, use this on the A. Its attack becomes 0, but then during your next turn, your opponent, let's say it's like 170 attack, your opponent just takes 170 life point damage. Cold Snap. Destroy all opposing beasts that are frozen by ice spells and abilities. So basically what this means is this freezes them because they have 0 attack. That's like a freezing ability. Negating their abilities is freezing. Okay, so basically all the freezing things are making their attack 0, negating their abilities, making it so they can't attack, or making it so they can't be sacrificed. Those are all 4 requirements that are freezing abilities. Permafrost. Your opponent cannot attack or use abilities, so that would be like a freezing. And then every 2 turns, you must sacrifice 2 beasts to keep this card in play. This is pretty broken if you have a constant flow of C grades to use, because then your opponent just basically can't play. They can only use spells. Or they can summon too, but that's all they can do really. They can summon and use spells. Getting to the A's now. So we got Deity. If this card is sacrifice summoned, all ice beasts in play gain 20 attack and HP for every ice beast play. So this card would immediately gain 20, so he's really a 180, 170. And there's another one he'd be a 200, 170. And there's another one he'd be a 220, 170. And then we have Winter Warrior Tier 3, so he can be brought up by either sacrificing or the ability of Tier 2. If this card attacks the same beast 2 turns in a row, that beast can attack for the rest of its lifespan. So that is a freeze. And this is also kind of like a Boxer and Bluer with the combo. So let's go over the cards that we could have put in here, but didn't, and I'll kind of explain why. So, yeah. So these cards aren't in the main deck. These are like extra cards that you can maybe switch out for cards in the deck. Abysmal. So I didn't even know if I was going to put this in here because it is a fire type, and obviously fire and ice don't mix, but you could see it has ice in it. But its main typing is fire, because fire beats ice, obviously. But I didn't want to put it in here because like this is like a main ice deck. Like all the cards have ice in them. Iceberg Whale. When this card is summoned, you can negate 2 spells until end turn. Like this just has nothing to do with ice. It doesn't help any ice beasts, and it doesn't even freeze opposing beasts. Glacius. This was like Gen 10 or Gen 9 maybe. Actually, it might be before that, honestly. When this card is in play, so it's like a taunt basically, kind of like Hadalure, except it doesn't get like a reduced damage. But again, it doesn't help any ice beasts, and it doesn't freeze anybody. Glacier Drag. Now this card does freeze. When this beast attacks an opposing beast during your opponent's next turn, that card cannot attack. So that would be a freeze. But this card was just so old, I just wanted to put some new cards in it. So yeah, that's why I didn't put it in. And then Chillin' Villain, he just has no ability, so obviously I'm not going to put him in. Snowcappy, I low-key wanted to put Snowcappy in. But all the bees, the only bee I could replace it with, honestly, is probably Haleo. But Haleo is brand new, so I wanted to put him in. I have a lot of recency bias, so if the card's newer, I'm going to favor and put it in the deck, I'm going to be honest. Once returned, roll a die, 1 or 2. This card cannot attack this turn. 3 or 4, select an opposing beast. That card cannot attack next turn. Can't attack next turn. So yeah, this would be a freeze though. This card can freeze. And then 3 and 4 both apply. So this card is frozen and the opposing beast is frozen. Brain freeze. Now I actually like this card. I could honestly put it in, but it's not really like a freezing card. This is just a good card overall. Like I would probably put this in like not even an ice deck because it's just pretty good. Skip your opponent's next turn, but you cannot draw for 2 turns, or you cannot attack for 2 turns. That's crazy, honestly. Because if you don't have a deck, if you have like a burn deck where you have like spells that do damage, then this would be great. Because there's basically no drawback if you have like a spell burn deck. And then Frosted Fist, which is kind of like an ability spell, which is basically like what is an ability spell? Like recently, Hydro Barrage is like this. Sloppy Slap, Slime Ball, cards like that are, I would say, like ability spells or like attack spells. I don't know what to call them yet. So it deals 60 damage to an opposing beast, and it cannot attack or use abilities during your opponent's next turn. So this would freeze. This is a freeze spell as well. So all these I just didn't put in for reasons I just mentioned. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share, and I'll see you guys in the next one.